Okay,
Hello there,
go.
Gia.
Okay, go. Hello, Keisha. Here we
Hi,
go.
how are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm all
You seem
right.
a little full of sass. Is
I'm a
that
little,
accurate?
yeah, I'm a little cranky with myself
With
and
yourself?
therefore everyone
With the
else. I
world?
give myself, I give myself a C minus for behavior today.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're not being fair. Did you
maybe
slap
not.
anyone?
No, no, no.
Nothing
I just wasn't
physical?
my best self and wasn't showing a lot of talent or anything. And now the day's
Uh,
pretty well over. And
yeah. Well, I must say I had a similar day.
did you? Okay.
Yeah.
No
Very, very
stickers,
lackluster.
no
No.
gold stickers on our papers today. Oh
No,
well.
siree. No, probably
Tomorrow is
people
another
wondering.
day.
Yeah, let's hope we can shake this day off and start
All right.
fresh tomorrow. Okay. All
Okay. Do
right.
you want to talk about hospital at all or
Let's give that a try, shall we? Should we
okay.
start with today and yeah.
I watched both today, so they're kind of running together in my head, but hopefully I'll
Okay. Oh, we had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Did you
Oh,
watch?
yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, did yours freeze up yesterday? Did your ABC station freeze? Was
Well,
it just
I watched them all today on Hulu, and
Oh,
then I
okay.
watched
All
today's episode on the DVR thing. So
right.
no, but it froze for you, huh?
Yeah, it was like just starting and then it froze and but the all the other it's all right. It was probably just my cable or something, but um
Okay.
anyway, oh we had Tuesday. You're right. Tuesday. I was thinking just Wednesday. All right. You're right. 3 of them. I can't remember the first at all though, so forget it.
Yeah, yeah, they do all run together, you're right. But it
Yeah.
seemed like there were some it was interesting, I would say, for 3 middle of the week days. I thought there was some substance,
There
some
was some
sort of
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, unusual things going
There
on.
was there were a couple of good words, like good vocabulary. Like I was sort of struck by
Yeah.
somebody used the word agency at one point, like, and you would
Ah,
still have agency, and I thought
yes.
it's a
I
little
think that was
elevated for us.
Tracy.
So
Was that Tracy talking to Brooklyn
I think
or
so. I
something
think
like
so.
yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that's a good
Mhm.
conversation to have with a young woman or
It
a young man,
is.
or
It
about
is. Yes.
retaining agency, and I like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm. Can I tell you what springs to mind after you've said that?
You can, you may.
I think I will.
Okay.
Well, think this might have been Tuesday. It was at least earlier in the week when Sonny was talking to Ava and breaking down
That
what
she was
he
sleeping with the enemy,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
Austin's
Uh-huh.
actually a bad guy and you've thrown in with him, and yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked when he said you're smarter than that,
Oh yeah, I did too. Yeah, yeah.
because that seems like a little bit sort of a similar thing, about like kind of giving yourself credit for, what you're capable of.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought in a way that was sort of like maybe the difference between him and other men on the show and Drew. Because Drew
Yeah, poor
doesn't
Drew. We're
seem,
gonna rake him over the coals some more, but yeah.
he just always has to explain things to people as if they're not smart enough to figure these things out for themselves, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, and I do
anyway.
like how Sonny has a well, I was gonna say a grudging respect for Ava, but I don't think it's even
Yeah.
grudging anymore, you know.
Right, right. Yeah.
I think he
Uh-huh.
actually just has some respect for her, and
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I wish we kind of knew what the hell Austin was. We don't know what
Yeah.
kind of animal he is.
He seems
Um,
like he might be a pretty good doctor with pretty poor judgment.
yeah, I mean, he may have a situation kind of like Brad, where his
Uh-huh.
essential nature wants to be good, but he's sort of trapped by his circumstances, perhaps.
Yeah, and doesn't
Um,
seem to have the strength to pick the more
to
difficult
right
path,
to
I
rise
guess.
above, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't wanna
that
take
could
the
be.
risks that put him in Jeopardy, I guess, or something.
Yeah. And I
I don't
just so
know.
wanted him to tell the truth to Ava and
Yeah.
team up with her
Yeah.
against whatever he's fighting there. But
Yeah, I don't think he understands quite what a force she is, and how
right,
she
yeah.
really probably could have saved him from anything, if she'd been in on it.
Yeah. Let's see. Another good word I heard was, and this is like a game where I say the word and you tell me what scene, because I don't
Okay.
remember. Somebody used
Okay.
the word synchronicity.
Oh,
Does that ring
yes.
a bell anywhere?
It does. It does, but
Mm.
shoot, I
Well, I
can't
can't help you
remember.
because I really don't
Yeah.
remember. But
I know. So yeah, it feels like it should have been a cop since the Police had the Synchronicity song, album. Was that the album title?
I was with the PCPD there for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
what? They've got an album?
They could.
That's right, the Police. Yeah, I believe I saw them on that tour, the Synchronicity
I
tour.
think I did too. Yeah.
I
How
didn't
about
see
that?
you. I didn't see you there.
That's weird.
I know a guy now. I mean, I don't know him, but I mean, I have met him in person, but a harmonica player, friend, acquaintance, who
Mhm.
has been out on tour with Sting, playing harmonica in
Ah.
Sting's band, like, to these
Huh.
huge audiences,
Yeah.
like, kind of, it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, and you weren't even born probably when I was seeing Sting,
Yeah, wow, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
could be you,
It's
Gia.
No, it couldn't, and it's chromatic harmonica, which is a different kind of
Ah,
harmonica.
okay, I
But
see.
even if it weren't, it wouldn't be me. But yeah, a young man, and to have the
Uh-huh.
presence to like think of a concert that Sting would be playing and how big. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Anyway, okay, that's totally off topic, but I want to say there was another good word, but I can't think of it. But I wanted to say that we're kind of talking about smart people, smart women characters.
Yes, yes.
And I want to shout out to the Lois character as one of them again.
Yes. I did very much like her scene with Eddie. Is that one of the scenes? Well, and
Yeah,
also with
Eddie and
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yeah, both.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
And of course, we
Yeah.
mentioned earlier with Leo. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. But I did like
uh,
how she sort of worked with Eddie to
yeah, I
get
was wondering if we
in
could
his
use
head.
that somehow.
I was too, Gia, and
That,
I
like,
didn't
what
think
was it?
so
Something
because I've
about.
already forgotten.
You've already tried it. You workshopped it.
I was trying in my head. I was trying to just remember the 3 steps.
Oh, and I've
What was
already
it like?
forgotten about it. It's like, see where you are or something like
Identify
that.
the problem, see,
Yeah.
figure out where you are, and then the third one is where do you want to go? Something
Where do you
like
want to
that.
go? Yeah. I thought that's a very great way to,
Mhm.
like, calm yourself and give
Yeah.
yourself some concrete ways to move
Yeah.
forward.
Right, because
And I
it
was like,
seems
oh, yeah.
overwhelming, like that block he has. You can really kind of feel it,
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
hard it is to walk away because you think the answer might be right there.
But then he
Um,
took it to a blockheaded place.
that scene, I couldn't really figure out like what the setup was outside. It's like, really? So he can just jump into the water from right there? Was it like a
Right, but we can't see the water and
no,
you know
no.
and I was like,
Mhm.
well, how come Olivia's not seeing him? And then I figured out, oh, because
Yeah.
he's, trapped down the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I thought, wouldn't they have already had hypothermia at that point? I mean, we're supposedly in New York in November.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
some pretty cold water.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but I thought, isn't it funny how the entire episode, that was today, right? The
Yeah.
entire episode, every time we went back, they were still swimming around in that pond.
I know. I know. It I never saw Little Mermaid, but I imagine a lot of the scenes were very much like
Like
that.
that. Yeah, I never
With
saw The
two
Little Mermaid either, but
two
we have a town
two
here in Florida where they actually hire mermaids. Wikiwachi, it's called.
Of course it is, Gia.
Do you want to say it? Wikiwachi.
Wiki watching.
And every year they put out the call and they hire new mermaids for these shows, and it's like
You should,
mermaid tryouts, and I could go
yeah,
do it. I could try out. I could do it.
you should. I would like to see the video of that. That's how I
They probably
imagine,
look a
like,
lot like Ned trapped at the bottom of the pond, just flailing around.
that's why I would love to like audition for like The Bachelor one day and have all these like hot young women and then me like walking
Well,
out there.
you could certainly do the Golden Bachelor. That's right in our wheelhouse. Those people are like our age, I think.
I know, but they seem like a different species still. We've talked about this.
Well, they've
We're
had a
not
lot
quite.
more. They've had a lot more work, and there may
They
be.
have had work done, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be fun if they had like a version of the show with like nobody
Like
could
more of
have
a
any work done, you
a
know.
budget, more of a budget version.
Like yeah. Like a local version. In Maine, wow, yikes.
Like off Broadway, so far off Broadway. Yeah.
But anyway, that was, I kind of, I mean, I know that was a strange scene, all the underwater stuff, but I was kind of glad that something new was happening. I guess I'm not.
Yeah,
even
it
sure,
was cool. I thought it was kind of cool, and then the music going on, and and they probably paid a great deal for that set, and so they had to,
and then and you can see where they saved money in other parts of the show to make up for it. But it had like a sort of a nice atmospheric quality or something.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a zoo where there's a polar bear exhibit where you can see them swimming?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that, but I can imagine.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah. That's pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of that. That's what I'd look like in my mermaid tryout, like a polar bear.
Or a manatee.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, God. Anyway,
I guess, where have I seen that? Oh, the Memphis Zoo has that. The Memphis Zoo has a lot of bear stuff. Although the pandas have gone home to China.
Weren't they the ones at the DC Zoo? The pandas.
They just went, but the Memphis ones went like a year ago or something.
Oh, so they're calling back all the pandas,
taking back all the pandas. My mother would be so sad.
Is that like the beginning of a war when you take back all your cute animals?
Well, it's not a good sign.
I know it's not.
I mean, that's really why it's a diplomacy thing. That's
true. That's true.
Yeah. Taking back the pandas. Yeah.
And what would have happened if we'd said, we don't want to give back your pandas?
Well, and do the pandas have any kind of input?
Or agency?
Do they have any agency? Exactly. I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Yeah, poor fellas.
I'd like to see him on a Zoom call, like, actually, we've grown accustomed to our setting here. The bamboo is tender.
The bamboo is tender. I wouldn't have expected a panda to sound like that.
Sure,
it's uncanny though. Now I hear it and I think, well, of course that's what they would sound like.
Oh, okay. General Hospital. Back to General Hospital. So I like that Lois is going to stick around a little bit longer. Although I have to say, I can you remember? Like, I'm finding her outfits bizarre.
Yeah.
And like today we had the weird like thrift shop sweater with the kind of moth-eaten holes around the bottom edge, and it's been pulled over and being held with a big pin, like a big kilt pin or something. And like, did she she looks more like thrift shop bag lady than like sassy, Did she always dress like that, or what's going on there?
I want to. I
Hmm.
don't remember, but I feel like there was probably more like denim and leather or something. I don't know, like sort of like biker chic chic.
Okay.
But I really can't remember. But her outfits do sort of call attention to themselves now.
Yeah, and they're not. You can't. I wouldn't call them bohemian. They're
No,
more
no.
bag lady or something. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not digging it.
No, no. And I was thinking also Olivia's outfit. It didn't bother me, but it was so different sort of from what she usually wears cuz she was
Yeah, it
just
was
wearing
kind of
like
dowdy. It was a little
yeah, a
dowdy.
little like mom preppy sort of
Yeah.
suburban mom kind of, but then I was thinking, well, I guess it was she had to go into the water. So maybe a
Oh, yeah.
dress
Maybe
would have
they
been too difficult for to do that.
unwieldy.
Or maybe risque. I mean, maybe,
Oh, I
it
see what
would've
you mean. Sure. Yeah.
yeah. We did
Yeah.
get to see Eddie's tummy, which I thought was sweet.
Oh, I missed it. I didn't see that, but we saw all of him in that dream. So I don't.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, that I don't know, we'll see what
Oh.
happens, what comes out of their little lake scene.
Right. I mean, do you think that's gonna knock the Ned back into him kind of a thing? The
I don't
oxygen
know.
deprivation method of
Or maybe
regaining.
Olivia won't remember who she is.
This is a new game they're playing.
I know. Like Esme, Esme's still
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
same after she hit the water, so
right.
water has
Okay, well
powers.
let's pivot then. Pivot to
Okay.
Esme, the scene with Esme and Laura and Spencer.
Yeah, and Laura wanted to do a little damage control before Esme dropped her little bomb,
Yep,
right?
yep, right.
Wasn't able to. So and Spencer reacted exactly as we thought he would.
Does he have grounds to be upset about this? I mean, do you think he has any um rights there to like
Um
who's in the right there? He or Esme, would you think?
All I really remember from our legal training on General Hospital is that
Yeah.
do grandparents have rights in New York? I
Oh,
forget what they
right. Yeah. Great. Yeah. But do
um
brothers, half brothers?
I don't think he does have any legal claim to Ace unless Esme was really, not a fit parent. But I think if he could employ Laura's strategy, he would gain a lot more than he'd lose.
What is Laura's strategy? Is that identify the problem? And I missed Laura's advice. What's her strategy?
Well, I think just to sort of support Esme, not to try to change her mind about this, and
Uh-huh.
sort of keep the lines of communication open or whatever. Like I think
I
just
wonder,
as
I mean, would it make any sense if Laura spilled the beans that, Esme has feelings for you and she's trying to, do the right thing and
oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it'll
I mean,
come to that.
it would be awkward. It wouldn't be fair to Esme to do that, but it would be
Right.
kind of like look, she's trying to do you a favor here by
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
creating some distance and letting you and Trina
Mhm.
have a relationship and
Right,
um
right. Yeah, good
but yeah,
good
Spencer
thought
was
there.
classic Spencer.
Classic Spencer, yeah,
The
which
arm
is
flailed.
yeah, we'll see, if Laura can talk him down or if she will have to, spill Esme's little secret. Yeah.
I keep going to like just little scenes from today. Do you have anything going further back before I just keep going with today?
You can keep going with today, Gia, that's okay.
All right. Um, Felicia and Aunt Stella at the cafe.
I well, I liked it, I think, partly because, and this feels strange to say, but
The
it's
plants.
no, that's why you liked it.
Oh, all right.
And I'll let you have your moment with the plants. But I was thinking where it's twice now that we are seeing Felicia in sort of an unfamiliar role as the person who needs to be sort of propped up and, helped because she's
Yeah,
sort of
in her new
flailing a
job.
little bit. Her new
Yeah.
job, and then also like how she feels about Anna and what happened to her and how she
Oh, well,
feels sort of
that was
responsible.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that was
was. It
a
was. But
reach. That was a real reach
yeah,
there.
so Felicia's been acting sort of helpless lately, which is strange.
Not very Felicia-like. Yeah.
Not very Felicia-like, but she'll get back to her old self soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about plants now?
No, because we've seen them all before. But I like that cafe scene, that little
Yeah.
set. I do like
Uh-huh.
that. Oh, I
Yeah.
know an earlier scene. What did you think of Curtis? And I don't remember the guy's name.
Oh yeah, it was like Devon, I think maybe it was with a
Okay.
D. And for a
Yeah,
minute I thought
at the
Curtis's
gym
name.
there
Yeah, yeah.
at Volvolino's.
As opposed to Pussytanos. um I liked that scene. I thought it would be very interesting if this new character became sort of a steady character, and like you said, if they kept Curtis in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I
you
do want to
know
say that I was wrong. I thought he'd already be miraculously, already cruising around
hmm
um up on his feet, and they have resisted that temptation thus far, and
thus
I've got to
far. Yep.
give him credit. Did we meet
Yeah.
this guy before, or did we see him at the
I,
rehab center or
yeah,
something? I feel like we saw him before.
right. I think so. And I was kind of fascinated with how his prosthetics work because they seem like they go right up to his hip. Like
Oh, I didn't take a look at that, but
just the way he was sitting. I was thinking, wow. I
yeah,
mean, what? I don't know how they're attached to his body, but
maybe like a harness or something that would,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah. But I thought he brought out a nice quality in Curtis that we haven't really
Yeah,
seen.
he made
You
Curtis a
know,
little more likable. I thought it
yeah,
was I don't know. I liked it, but it felt heavy-handed in like a PSA just
yeah,
inserted into
definitely it was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they could avoid that, but
kind of in the
I don't
same
know.
way that like on ER,
I
I
was
feel
gonna
like I'm
say, yeah, there
being
seems like
bludgeoned with the
oh,
Africa storyline.
there's a
Um,
bunch of storylines where it feel like gun violence, and they were doing that also with the gun violence on Hospital. Like it seemed like they were sort of talking about like it in the abstract, like this, like a child being shot by a gun and taking it out of
oh,
like
like when Alexis was talking about whether or not to publish the
yeah, like in all this,
story. Yeah.
that seemed like, and I know, I mean, I get it, but the storyline itself is so far removed from like what is typically gun violence in our country. It's not
Right. Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
somebody's using tarot cards and has been brainwashed by her
It could
grandfather.
be, but it could be. Come
It
on,
could
it
be.
could be.
But yeah, I know that it does seem like it's hard for them to avoid that PSA quality.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, like you of course agree with the message, but it's like
right,
when
right.
when you get taken out of the story
hmm
to that extent, it's really hard to
Yeah, yeah, that's a good
um
way to put it. Right, getting
but you
taken out
can't
of
be
the story.
critical of it, of course, because people be like, "Oh, so you don't like,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't like
Uh,
people with disabilities?" Like, no, 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 I just don't like that they feel like they have to spell everything out in capital
hmm
letters, just screaming
Right,
it at you. And that's what I felt
right.
like about ER with the Darfur storyline.
Yeah.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that that is
Uh-huh.
horrific. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that probably all do need, to have awareness raised about that.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but it was like, couldn't you tell a slightly more subtle story without, I don't know, it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. I
I,
know it seems like it was somebody's personal agenda or something,
yeah,
and not
yeah, exactly. It
organic
had an
really to the
agenda.
yeah.
That's good vocabulary. Agenda and organic. I haven't come up with any good words on my own, but I appreciate other people's,
that,
more elevated language.
that's wonderful, Gia. Well, and you will.
When you're older.
One day you'll have an interesting word.
I doubt it. Oh.
Oh God. Let's see. Oh, one of the things, did we cover that moment that as much as you wanted to?
Yeah. I
Okay.
agree with everything you said, that it made Curtis a little more likable and vulnerable, and the guy was giving very good advice, and
Yeah. I mean, it
yeah, so
was
it would be
all.
cool if they did make him a regular. I don't know if they would, but
Yeah, because then they could get past the PSA and sort of more
right,
like,
and just have him be like a character. It
Yeah.
reminds me of I took a class. I may have already mentioned this at some point, but I took a class as an adult. I had to renew my certification for working in special ed, and this
Uh-huh.
teacher insisted that we not call them special ed kids. Like when people would
Uh-huh.
say, like, I work with special ed kids, she said,
Uh-huh.
you have to reverse it. You work with children with special needs. You know,
Uh-huh.
she was like,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
their whole identifying.
Right.
Like, so you don't
Right.
call them sped. You don't, like, that's
Mhm.
like, you
Mhm.
gotta have it in your mind all the time that they're children and they with special needs. But
Mhm. Kids
I was like,
first.
yeah, it was a good
Mhm.
point. And so it's like,
Mhm.
that's not your entire identity,
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
disabled person like that. So yeah,
Right.
that would be
Right.
cool if they could just be a character in their own right, which they were
Mhm.
kind of starting to do with the Chad character. Remember Chad?
Yeah, yeah, right, right. And I don't know why they couldn't. I don't know
Mhm.
why that storyline sort of
Did he
faded.
just get a different gig somewhere or something?
Maybe, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but
But he
yeah,
was a good character, and they'd started with
he
that with
was.
with Terry, and it
Harry,
was like
yeah.
that would have been kind of cool. In the kind of the way with Terry that they don't make her being a trans
Mhm.
person the point of her being on there. She's just
Right.
Terry, who's a character, and
Mhm. Mhm.
um,
Although I think we've sort of complained that they haven't done more with that part
I
of
know.
her,
Well, we're gonna
so
complain no
they
matter
can't
what you
quite
do.
win.
We want it brought up, but we want it done in a subtle way.
So that we don't know it's being brought up.
Exactly. But we're taught
But
a lesson without feeling it, without having to think about it. No, but you know what I mean. Like,
I
you don't want to
do,
be
yeah.
bludgeoned.
Right, right. Yeah. But one of the last things that I wanted to say about the Curtis Devon scene was there was a one line where Curtis said, "Man, I feel so selfish, talking about myself, when I now that I know your circumstance," or something like that. And I know that wasn't like a super original line, but there was like a new expression on his face, and it
Yeah,
seemed like just sort of a nice, humble, kind of open Curtis. And it seems like he's been so sort of one dimensional for so long, and now it seems like we might get like more different aspects of his
more
character.
facets of his
Yeah,
personality. That would be good. Yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, keeping him in the wheelchair could really yield a really great trajectory for that character.
yeah, it could.
With some
Mhm.
really meaty topics.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
so
Yep.
I hope they have the chutzpah to
Mhm.
keep going with this, and just with everything. I mean, they kind of touched on the, like, sexual functioning, and just
Mhm.
so many things that about your
Yeah.
life that would change,
Yeah.
that they've got to
Mhm.
um,
Yep. And
delve
we'd get to
into.
see like really how committed Portia is.
Yeah, yeah,
So it'd be a
yep.
test of her character also.
And then on how committed you are, and then you'd also have to deal with, like, as the partner, like, what if you're just like, what if you aren't in love anymore, but you feel like, well, I'm not going to be you wouldn't have the like staying with somebody just because they need you, like
Mm-hmm.
what if
Mm-hmm.
their relationship really did fall apart but I don't know.
How long do you have to stay? When is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
okay to
yeah,
finally like say sorry, I can't do this anymore? Yeah.
yeah. So there could be
Mhm.
a lot of interesting things they could
Mhm.
do with that. And it
Right.
might
Right.
make Portia more likable too and take her out of the squealy.
Yeah.
Um, there
Yeah.
could be some really heavy stuff. Maybe that's what they're
Mhm.
not thinking they want to do. Like, you know, maybe
Hmm.
they just want love in the afternoon. Maybe we're getting too hefty in real life or something.
Maybe, and I think, the kind of scenes that we would like would be the kind that would be harder to write because they would be sort of new, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What if if the hospital had like a colonoscopy clinic in it?
Something you want to talk about, Gia? Is it time for your big nap?
End of the month. Yep. Um, no, I was just thinking about more like kind of real life stuff that they aren't covering at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I imagine
the
that would be
mundane.
uh-huh, or that could be hilarious if
It
everybody's,
could be.
taking the drugs you were given and everybody's funny
Yeah.
without knowing it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
confessing all kinds of secrets that they shouldn't
I
be.
forget the name of the drug. I did ask. I was like, "Is there any danger, having had it kind of recently, of having again?" He assured
Mhm.
me that it leaves your system very quickly. And I said, "But isn't this what Michael Jackson died from?"
Mm.
And he said, "Well, yes, but that doctor went and had lunch or something." Like, you know,
So lunch is what killed Michael Jackson? I don't understand.
and then I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, but how do I know that you people aren't just going to go have lunch?
And is a snack okay?
Whatever. Um, anyway,
Ay,
oh,
ay.
okay. Let's go to the hospital with Charlotte and talk about Charlotte
Oh,
now.
oh boy, she is
Ooh,
sinister. She is sinister.
yeah.
I mean, when
Good
Valentine said,
acting from the bed. Do you give her,
"Oh, I do give her props
okay.
for appearing sinister, and yet also, trying to play Valentine and Nina."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
uh, I was so relieved when Valentine said everything she said was a lie. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, thank
Yeah.
God,"
Yeah.
I would have, because it seemed like almost like I don't know if this is fair, but I feel like our regular writers would have had him believing her.
You think the regular writers think Valentine is kind of stupid?
Well,
Is that what
no,
you're saying?
that would just torture us, because it seems like, sometimes they
Like,
just do just to
yeah.
make us go through this agony, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's like the worst thing that could happen.
But you know who
Um,
was seeming stupid? Was
who?
Anna.
Yeah, yeah,
They were
right.
talking about like, well, and how could she have you gotten your keys? I don't know. And then,
Yeah, yeah,
why are you not
right.
noticing that it's Charlotte?
I
Like
know.
she's
Maybe she's still just in complete shock, and she hasn't, I mean, she hasn't had any glimpse really of this dark side of Charlotte's,
I
right?
guess not, but her Spidey powers are way
Oh,
off.
they're terrible. They're terrible. I mean, she's still like pushing this theory that it's a WSB
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Um,
Foreskin.
that's right. I forgot.
I had to remove a post on a group that I'm an admin on, and somebody posted like something pornographic. What do they gain from that?
I I don't know. Gee, was it I I don't know.
Are they selling something?
Was
I
it
was
like
like,
a
oh my god! I
legitimate
hope I got
person
it
of the
down.
group? Could there be
No, it
like
wasn't. No, I don't think they. I don't. I think it's like it was, an open group, and so I think anybody could have gone on and I guess put a post on. I don't know, maybe they were in the group, but I was like, luckily I got a notification, so I went on there and removed it. But I hope I got it off before some old ladies saw this.
Was it a wiener?
There was one, involved, sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
They can even get that on Facebook? It seems like
I don't know. Maybe only I could see it. Like, I got a post saying that it. I don't know. I was
Are
like,
you sure you
God.
were on Facebook? Were you Googling something, Gia?
No, because I feel tainted by it. Just even going on there and like removing it, and Anyway, sorry. So I think that's where some of the sexual Tourette's language is coming out of me here. Just feel like I was sort of a little bit traumatized by this.
Well, thanks for explaining.
Yeah, I just the internet, it can be a dark and dangerous place,
Oh, you don't have to tell me about it, Gee. I mean, gosh, you remember when I was taking that weird combination of my pills and it made me very, very
racy, spicy,
aroused.
Did you go to some rooms online that scared you, or?
I did Google wieners, I have to say.
Oh my God, seriously? This is like, I haven't done that. I haven't done that since yesterday at lunch. Well, I'm glad they got you off those things. You were a little bit of
man. And I tell you, when you look at like pictures of guys who are deliberately like posing, like showcasing their wieners.
I'm gonna just say, okay, because like I don't do that. But
there's really nothing sexy about it, is what I was gonna say. It doesn't have the desired effect, I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't know, but that's why I can never have any government official or police officer gain access to my search history because
it'd be hard to explain the whole. It was seriously, it was the migraine drug.
Do you have migraines now? I still do. Yes, that's not the point.
I hope One Star is not catching any of this, because we are way out there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, America and the world.
Yeah, a little too much information going on.
I don't know.
There.
Are you allowed to talk about wieners in United Arab Emirates? I'm not sure.
I have no idea, but I don't feel like you should talk about them at all.
Hey, you started it this time.
Sorry. Okay, let's stop it.
Okay. Should we pivot again?
Yeah, let's pivot and pick some character interaction to discuss here. What else did we have?
Okay, well, we had Sasha.
Drew parading around. Sasha with the Sasha in the photo shoot. Sasha. He kept calling her Sasha.
Yeah, and the alpaca, is that, or is it a llama?
Was it an alpaca? I don't know. It was little. It was kind of little.
It was very fluffy.
Yeah. And Cody, of course.
But that set was so cheesy and so like
it was all quite
Sears
ridiculous.
Portrait Studio, you said it was like, seriously, like this like sought after photographer is gonna so that was, I think it's because they spent all their money on their underwater shots.
The underwater sets. That was pretty cheesy and goofball-y, and just to have Cody like, I can't take my eyes off of you,
And when he was told to, like, all of a sudden he looked sort of crazed, he
was being weird. He's kind of a goofball. I kind of like him. I'm sorry.
I know you do. I know.
Sasha still looked beautiful even on the cheesy set, but
she
was bringing it. She was bringing it.
And I liked how she's sort of becoming like one of those wise women, those grounded women who can.
She gave the advice to Maxie and Brooklyn.
Maxie,
Yeah,
And
when she's not popping pills and stuff, she's pretty grounded.
she is, yeah. And I think I liked that, she got Brooklyn and Maxie to sort of, bury the hatchet because that just gets tiresome, those
Right.
that
Yeah.
bickering
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So that was okay with me.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? So Tracy's off for a while. I don't know if that means she's coming back right away. I hope so.
Yeah, I know.
But
That seemed a little bit unexpected, didn't it? The sudden departure. I
yeah,
wonder, like, timing wise and mentioning Bobby, who knows, like, what was happening when they were taping at that
I
point.
know that gave me a little pang of
Yeah. Yeah.
sadness there.
Mhm.
But or is that build up for them to kind of bring up Bobby a few times and then have something happen to Bobby and
Right. I
off
think
off
that is
screen,
kind of,
obviously.
yeah, that seems to be what they might be leading up to because it's been such a long time, and I think we all thought we would have the tribute to her
Right, right,
much
yeah.
sooner. So,
Mm,
anywho, um,
yeah, it's gonna be sad.
it is going to be sad.
Let's see, what else? What else?
Well,
Do
I
you,
forgot a little bit about there were a couple of things that were Nina related. When she was with Valentine and, telling him like, hush hush about like the security footage, and I
yeah,
had sort
just
of
because it
forgotten that
reflects
she did
badly
have
on
a
her.
role. It
Yeah,
reflects badly on her. It's another thing where like something she did sort of, not really thinking about what the consequences could be, and they wound up, kind of much worse than she
yeah.
imagined, you know?
Do you think she could ever argue that her coma impacted the area of her brain that the executive functioning area that's
It's worth a try.
you know like the
Yeah.
sort of decision making and understanding
Uh-huh.
consequences for your actions kind of thing.
Yeah, possibly, possibly.
I wonder
Um,
because she was in a coma for a long time.
she was quite a long time. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what other defense she has other than that
Because it's
she's
kind of like a
just.
teenager brain where you know the impulsivity, like there's
Mhm.
not that sort of filter that stops you from going ahead and saying and doing the things that
Mhm.
the way that teenagers do because they really can't see beyond their own snouts for a while.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And
And
yeah, they can't
people that
imagine anything but like the here and now, really.
yeah, and people that have brain injury or neurological damage of some
Mhm.
kind or something. I'm just
Mhm.
wondering if she could look into that as a defense.
Like the Franco tumor defense.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, not murderous, but it's a little harder. I mean, there are people
Mhm.
truly that have situations like that.
Mhm.
And it's almost harder to have compassion or understanding because if you don't look different in any way or whatever, but it's like, no, I
Right,
can't
right.
control my actions, like,
Mhm.
whatever. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just nattering on. No real reason.
You're trying to find a way to sort of be sympathetic, I think, towards Nina,
Yeah, I
maybe.
just I just started thinking about medical reasons that she does the things she
Mhm.
does because it's like
'Cause otherwise.
she does a lot of really boneheaded stuff, and
Yeah, and seems surprised when, something
yeah,
bad comes
when
out of
things
it.
blow up from it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they continue to throw she and Valentine together with the Charlotte thing.
Uh-huh,
Um,
yeah. I
and
liked
I
how
hope that
Charlotte
causes
said your
friction.
Charlotte sort of lit up when she saw that the 2 of them
Yeah,
were together.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I think obviously Anna and Valentine are, you know, certainly on the rocks, if not dead in the
Mhm.
water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I'm hoping that there'll be some problem between Nina and Sonny because of the time she's going to spend with Valentine, and
Right.
um, I mean, of
Yeah.
course, there's going to be so many problems anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
When the
there's
big
several reasons why Sonny could
yeah
sort of be very disappointed in her.
Yeah. Oh, and is Michael on the verge of spilling the beans to Carly and Drew here in a minute?
Well, that was the next thing I was going to bring up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when he heard Drew starting to blame Ned again, he's not going to be able to like let that happen.
Well,
So
but
he's
actually, he was. Drew was saying like, well, couldn't we just kind of move on from this, or
right,
so,
right. That's
and
true.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Uh
But
huh.
it felt like Michael's not gonna like Michael's just
Yeah,
can't take it.
like he and Carly, yeah, are having a harder time just letting it go. So
If when Carly finds out, there's going to be some blonde hair flying.
yeah, it would be fun if that came to light at the same time. The fact that Nina erased the footage of Charlotte
Yeah,
came
everything.
out.
Nina will just be the town
Yeah,
pariah.
yeah,
Yeah.
hmm yeah. That could be really fun. So
Every
we'll
time I think
see.
of Charlotte, I get a little like shiver, like a little.
yeah, yeah.
She's like, yeah, creepy,
hmm
damaged goods teenage girl right now.
Yeah,
They
right.
need to bring Kevin in like for just around the clock.
I think so. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Like, I mean, with a kid like that, how long can she keep up like this act with him? I mean, I guess she could forever. He's never going to get anywhere with her really, right? Unless she
I don't
decides.
know. He's pretty good.
He is good. I mean, if anyone can, I guess
Yeah,
it's
he's
him.
real good.
Or Laura. Because
Yeah.
this, I think it seemed like there was a scene from the next episode with Laura and Charlotte, maybe. I can't remember. Oh
I
no,
can't
Laura.
remember.
Yeah, Charlotte's telling Laura that Anna's evil or dangerous or something. I
Okay.
think so. That would be
Mm,
since Laura kind of knows the score.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm. Well, I hope they
hmm.
can sort her out, but she's doing a killer job, a
Yeah,
kick-ass killer
she's
job
got a
of.
bright future in scary
Yeah.
movies.
I'm
Hmm.
glad they brought this original Charlotte back because
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
she's can do this. I don't think any of those waif like fill-in Charlottes could pull this off.
No, sir. No. Uh. Yeah.
They could have maybe done some other sad teenager storyline, but not this like
Hmm. Right.
heavy evil Children of the Corn kind of thing. I never saw Children of the Corn. Actually, I don't know. Were they evil
I don't know.
or
Is that
just
the movie that
starchy? Were they a little bit
Joss?
starchy?
Isn't that the
Huh?
movie Joss loves or something? Didn't she used to dress up as
What is it?
corn? I think so. I can't.
Seriously? That's a
I
weird
think.
detail, huh?
I know. I know.
That does sound kind of familiar. I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
Hmm. I like that Dante. I kind of like seeing Dante and Sam trying to figure this out. That is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like you said. That's where Sam sort of becomes a little like more believable, I guess, as a partner
Yeah.
for Dante.
And I like Dante just kind of as
I
a
do too.
person.
Yeah, yeah. He's not like classically handsome or anything, but he's a good all around guy. It's very
Yeah.
appealing.
Yeah. Level-headed. He's
Yeah,
level-headed.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I thought about getting you a set of tarot cards for your birthday, but would that have creeped you out?
I don't know. I don't know
Because
if
there's
I
some
would.
pretty ones.
They are, yeah, they are, and they kind of like when they interpret them, it seems like it's not always like as straightforward as what the card shows. It's not
No,
necessarily
like they were saying, the
so.
death card doesn't necessarily mean
Right, right, yeah.
you're gonna
So,
die and that kind of
right,
thing. But
right, yeah.
I
Interesting
opted to
too.
not. I opted to get you weird food stuff from Marshalls
Which I ate all of it
or TJ
immediately.
Maxx. Yeah, okay, and then threw up or something.
Oh, yeah, well, so you didn't get me the tarot cards or the dog statue? Was that the other thing you were thinking of?
Yeah, just
Mhm.
like heavy dog paperweight kind of things and whatever. I don't know.
Oh, Gia.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well, so yeah, there was some good stuff. Couple of
Hmm.
interesting things happened, and they're trying stuff. They bringing in alpacas. They've got
Yep.
underwater scenes.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. They've playing with the pacing a little bit. Yeah. And
yeah,
then the whole Curtis, that new sort of path he's going down now.
yep,
New friends. That could all be
yeah.
interesting. So.
Pretty likable. I was flicking channels the other day, and the closer was on, and I saw Marshall,
Oh yeah, yeah. It,
a much younger Marshall. He had hair.
yeah, well, I guess you haven't come to there's an episode of ER where Marshall's on there with some
Oh
hair.
yeah, there's a lot of I
Everybody.
Epiphany made a second appearance as a different character on one that I saw recently.
Yeah, it
She
seems
was
like
on there once,
everybody
like
has been
working in
on
an
there.
office, yeah, and then she
Uh-huh.
came back as a patient,
Uh-huh.
with just a bit
Yeah,
role. But yeah, lots of people have passed through those doors.
they really
Um,
have. Yeah.
Kind of
I'd
like
like
the
to
Love
see.
Boat.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to see a Venn diagram with all the actors from ER and all the actors from General Hospital and how many were on
And
both.
how many would be in the middle? Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
little circle. That'd be interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
I think I've kind of exhausted my diatribes and
And I guess we
stupid
covered
stuff,
some
and
ground that might have been
some
unsavory.
stuff that really probably didn't need to be covered.
No, I wish I probably should try to edit out the wiener part.
Yeah, if possible, that might not be a bad idea. We just
Hopefully
click
people
into,
stop listening way before then.
like, if we had like a Patreon group, that could be
Yeah.
something that they could get behind that pay door and they could hear that spicy stuff.
It's kind of a PSA to like not mix your your meds.
Don't mix the meds, yeah, or
Yeah.
your
Hmm.
browsing history will be unsavory.
Yes, yes, it will
Okay,
be, and it won't help you sleep.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. That's just
Thanks, Gia. It was just one very dark night, and
it sounds like it. Oh, okay. Let's end this before we get
okay,
back into it.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
All right.
all right,
You have a
Gia.
lovely evening, and
You
we'll
too.
chat again in a few days.
Yeah, okay. You have a good night.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.